Hello, let's talk about Tantra. Very interesting topic. A very popular one nowadays. So, what is Tantra? Is it that complicated as people make it to be? Is it that risky that people make it to be? Is it that fancy that people make it to be? Well, the answer depends on the path or type of Tantra that you decide to follow, decide to work on. But one thing is certain, each and every Tantra is based on a philosophy. Whether it is the philosophy of a person or it is the philosophy of a group, but it is nonetheless a philosophy that forms the basis of each and every form of not just Tantra but all modes of worship. But another most important question becomes that I have seen people talk about a lot regarding tantric form of worship is regarding sadhana is pure and impure. Well, to be true, there is nothing which is essentially pure and essentially true, or absolutely pure and absolutely impure. Something that can be considered pure for one person might not be pure enough for another, and something that might be considered impure in one form of worship, one mode of worship, might not be at all important in another one. It just depends on your perception and your mental capacity of realization or physical capacity of realization. For instance, most people that you would find that actually talk about consumption of alcohol or use of alcohol in Tantra would first say that you need to purify the alcohol before you consume it. And the reason behind they do that is because they basically believe the alcohol to be impure. Right? Now, the form of Tantra that I come from, that I work on, that I have followed since the last decade, more than a decade or so, it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything to do with your pure and impure as far as alcohol is concerned. Why? Because alcohol is used for its essential quality, its essential characteristic. If I'm to change that, then it will no longer give me the necessary benefit. So that pure and impure, that comes from different Vedic influence completely. That is not what is essentially the tantric form of worship that's originally followed in Kamakhya or Assam, Kamrup or Pragjyotish ancient, which was known as the seat of all these practices originally, tantric sadhanas. Now, there are and there have originated different forms of tantric sadhanas in different places around, not just in India, but even those shamanistic rituals that have originated in, say, South America or some other cultures. Even there also are different forms of worships, different parts of worship, parts of spiritual wisdom. Just because I follow one, I cannot negate the effectiveness of the other one. Don't be correct. Right. But one thing I need to tell you is that in the form of tantra that was actually practiced there, that I have spent more than last 12 years rediscovering and have walked this path, very few things are considered impure, and they're impure only to a certain stage because they actually have potential to harm you physically. But if you can surpass that, then they are immaterial. You won't even need them. Say, for example, faces or shit, that is considered to be impure and should not be used in. Why? Because that is physically harmful to you. But yeah, if you have got the capacity, the physical siddhi or power to transform that in that's molecule that at a molecular level, then you can that becomes immaterial to you. Whether it is not even then it is not even a question of impure or impure at all. But alcohol, yeah, it can be and it should be used as just alcohol. There is no need for purification of it. But you should only use it uh, to the extent that you actually need it. That's it. Not more than that, because then it will become injurious to you. Same way is sex also. Sex is very, very important. Without it, tantric sadhana in my system is just not possible. Just not possible. So my system is known as Mahachinachar. Mahachinachar it's quite old. But today here I am not even going to go into the academic understanding or evaluation of it. Rather, I am focusing more on the practical side of it. If you are from listening from or hearing this video from any part of the world and you want to learn it, now I can tell you one thing. It will break down your social conditionings. It will break down the limitations that have been set on you or you have set upon yourself, and will set you on a path where you will actually gain different powers. Some philosophies would say that these are obstacles on the path of realization. I do not agree. I think they are essential on the path of realization. They are the milestones. Because essentially, tantric sadhana or essentially any form of spiritual worship is a journey towards divinity. What differentiates a common man, or what differentiates a divine being or divinity from common man is basically powers and nothing else. To call them supernatural powers or whatever you wish to. It is what it is. If you can gain them, the more you gain them, the closer to divinity you get. And everything else, whether it is sex, alcohol, and all these are different tools that you use very consciously to further yourself. Same can be said about mantra also. I'll talk to you about that on a different day. But yes, and you don't have to leave your samsaric duties or renounce the world at all to follow or walk on my path of Tantra. You don't have to do it. No, you don't. Because if you cannot become a complete human, you cannot become divinity. You cannot become divine at all. You need to accept the whole of Maya. The only way, the best way probably to realize Maya is through Maya. Understand it, relish in it, both the good and the bad, or the happy and the sad. But yes, some very practical uses can be got. Like for example, once when you start getting different powers, the goddess gives you powers to help other people. Suppose someone comes to me with different problems of day-to-day lives or different problems of in their lives. If the goddess wishes, she wills for me to help that person, then I will be able to help that person. So goddess is the main. She is the root of Tantra. She is the root of energy, Adi Shakti, Adi Maya. And Sanskrit is also not the basic of all languages as far as Assamese is concerned. No, it is not. That's a question for different day, different place. But just understand that as far as mantras are concerned, seed or bees mantras are the most effective ones. After them, you incorporate them into anything in any mantra in any language. You can use them. If you are connected to the goddess or if you are connected to the divine being that fuels your wish, that fuels your intent to bring about whatever change, positive or negative, that you will. So I will leave you with this today. But I will come another day. Take care.